In Formula One, the margins between glory and disaster are paper-thin. A tenth of a second can rewrite the story of a season. And for Ferrari, the Hungarian Grand Prix may go down as the moment their last real chance at redemption vanished. Not with a bang, but with a whimper and sparks. A lot of sparks, because this was supposed to be their weekend. Charles Leclerc, quietly grinding through a season of frustration, finally delivered a masterpiece in qualifying. On a circuit where overtaking is a myth and track position is everything, the Monegasque launched his SF-25 around the Hungarian and put it on pole. Ferrari's first pole of the year by just 0.026 seconds over Oscar Piastri. In a year McLaren has turned into their personal highlight reel, Ferrari had done something extraordinary. And yet, somehow by Sunday night, Charles Leclerc would be 42 seconds behind the winner. No trophy, no champagne, just questions, anger, and a very public, very bitter fallout. So, where did it all go wrong? Did Ferrari make a mistake again? And what could have been so bad that Leclerc had to get cryptic and angry on the radio? Let's rewind. Leclerc started strong until the middle phase of the race. Then came lap 41, the moment everything collapsed. Leclerc dove into the pits for another fresh set of hards. But this wasn't a normal stop. Behind the garage doors, Ferrari's engineers were panicking. Their car was too low. The infamous wooden plank under the chassis, meant to stop teams from running too low, was wearing down fast. Again, just a few races earlier, Lewis Hamilton had been disqualified in China for the exact same reason. The FIA doesn't forgive plank wear, and Ferrari knew they were skating close to that line. So, they made a choice. They raised the tire pressure on Leclerc's car. That, in theory, would raise the car slightly, protect the plank, and avoid disqualification. But what they didn't do was tell Charles why. Out on track, he felt it immediately. "This is so incredibly frustrating," he shouted over the radio. "We've lost all competitiveness. You just have to listen to me. I would have found a different way of managing those issues. Now it's just undrivable. Undrivable." And it was. The tires overheated. The car lost grip. Lap after lap, he bled time. First to Piastri, then to Russell. By the end of the race, Leclerc wasn't just out of podium contention. He was begging the car to hold on. And that wasn't the worst part. Afterwards, he learned the truth. It wasn't just the tires. The issue had come from deep inside the chassis. Something structural, something he couldn't have changed. And that's when his fury turned inward. "First of all, I need to take back the words I said on the radio," he admitted. "I thought that it was coming from one thing, but then I got a lot more detail since I got out of the car. It was actually an issue coming from the chassis, and nothing that we could have done differently." He had driven a broken car. Ferrari knew. They tried to patch it, but the fix only made things worse. By the time he crossed the line, Charles wasn't just fourth, he was shattered. 37 seconds behind Norris. 42 seconds back after a penalty for erratic defending against Russell. McLaren scored their 7th 1-2 finish of the year. Ferrari's only real shot at victory gone. And perhaps worst of all, Leclerc knew it. "This was one opportunity probably over the season, and we had to take it," he said. "But unfortunately, with this issue, we couldn't do much." The frustration in his voice said it all. The kind that doesn't just come from losing a race, but from knowing that even when you do everything right, pole, clean air, perfect first stint, your team can still find a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of triumph. And what made it sting even more? Russell, who overtook with ease, offered his own diagnosis. "He's not going to tell you they're close to being illegal," he told Sky F1. "The only thing we can think of is they were running the car too low to the ground and had to increase the tire pressure for the last stint. That was a sitting duck. The numbers backed it up. 2 seconds per lap slower in the final stint. That's not bad tire management. That's sabotage. Accidental or not, Ferrari made their driver blind into disaster. Again. And, as Anthony Davidson pointed out, even from the grid, you could see it coming. The car was sparking, burning away that precious plank. And nobody at Ferrari had the nerve to pull the plug or trust Charles to handle it differently. So, where does Ferrari go from here? Leclerc himself doesn't sound hopeful. When asked if Ferrari could challenge McLaren after the summer break, he didn't sugarcoat it. "I don't think so," he said. "I think they're the strongest team out there. I don't think we're going into the second half of the season thinking that we can win anywhere." That's not a motivational quote. That's resignation. And yet, something's bubbling beneath the surface. A tension, a pressure building not just in the tires, but inside the red walls of Maranello. Because this wasn't just a blown strategy. It was a systemic failure, a communication breakdown, a trust fracture. Leclerc could have managed the wear differently. He said it himself. "You just have to listen to me. I would have found a different way of managing those issues." But they didn't listen. They never do. How many times now has Ferrari built him a car fast enough for Saturday, only to sabotage it by Sunday? What happens when your driver believes in you more than you believe in him? There are rumors, whispers, that this could be the last chapter in red if things don't change. That he's already looking beyond 2025. That trust isn't just broken, it's gone. And what does Ferrari say to that? That it was just a one-off? An outlier, as Charles politely put it? Or will they finally admit what the fans have known for years? Ferrari isn't losing races because of the car. They're losing because of themselves. So here's the question, and it's the one every Tifoso is asking tonight. How many more miracles does Charles Leclerc have left in him before he stops wasting them on a team that can't catch them? Let us know what you think. Is Ferrari still salvageable this season? Or has Leclerc finally reached his breaking point? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We're just getting started.